As a new parent, you want to keep your little ones safe and sound. However, you might not realise just how many safety hazards there are around the home. Well, we're here today with Stuart Walker, who's worked in product safety testing for boots for 35 years, as he guides us around some of the safety hotspots around the home. So Stuart, what's the best way to identify these safety hazards?
Well, it's a good idea to get down to child level, sit down in the middle of the floor in the room and look around, see what you can see. It looks very different at child's eye level. So at first children won't be able to reach much, but soon they'll be trying to climb and grab cables and knobs, and the hazards multiply.
And what are some of the typical hazards in most homes?
Well, everyone's home is different, but common things are bathing areas, changing areas, kitchens, places where there are hot surfaces. You may find that you have a broken cupboard door handle, the sort of thing that you've become so used to you don't even notice it. But as time goes by, your child will get to it, and that's where there's a hazard. Useful to have things like this as well, the plug socket cover, so that stops them exploring and poking things in where they shouldn't. Another thing to look out for is little gaps where a child might be tempted to put their hand inside. They always want to explore, and something as little as an inch across. They'll get their hand inside, perhaps form a fist, and not be able to pull back out again. Now, some older electrical appliances may have grills covering cooling or circulating fans, and Junior might just try to put his finger inside.
So in the house, the kitchen is obviously a big safety hotspot. What can parents do to make sure things are safer?
Yes, you're right, the kitchen is a real place to watch. Don't leave crockery and knives, plates, cups on the edge of counters where a child may be able to reach up and grab them. Try to put pots and pans in the washing up bowl if they're not getting washed immediately, and keep all crockery and cutlery out of your child's reach. Be aware of the electrical cords on appliances like kettles or liquidizers. It's always good to keep cables and appliances at the back of the bench where a child can't reach them. Keep pans with their handles turned in, and keep an eye on Junior when they're roaming around. If they're starting to crawl, try to keep them away from the cooker. If you're ironing, keep a very close eye on them. If you're going away from the ironing board, unplug the iron and put it somewhere safe. Keep baby out of the kitchen if you can when you're cooking, using knives or making hot drinks. And make sure that any straps on the high chair are secure and safe.
Now the lounge or the family room is obviously a place that's intended for relaxation with all the family. Toys could be strewn everywhere. What can parents do to ensure that playtime is safer?
If you have more than one child and all the toys are out, try to keep the very young ones away from very small toys or toys that contain small parts. One thing to look at on all toys is, do they have the CE mark? This means that a toy is safe for sale in Europe. The other important thing for consumers to do is to handle the toy. Try to imagine how the child might play with it, just what they'll do. Feel for any sharp edges or points. You may even wish to get a playpen to secure your little one.
I suppose that can really help with choking hazards.
Yes, children will always wish to put things into their mouths. They want to experiment. There are many choking hazards that people don't even think about, like the caps of aerosols, pens, even shampoo bottles. Look for pen caps that allow airflow. If you find some that don't allow air through, keep them out of reach or dispose of them. Make sure that furniture is steady and that items like bookcases are secured to the wall.
Now bathing with baby is something that all parents look forward to, but there are some obvious hazards to be careful of in the bathroom.
Yes, you should never ever leave a baby unattended in the bath. They can drown in as little as 1 inch of water. Consider a toilet lock to help prevent small children from opening the lid and falling in. Make sure that the water for the bath is not too hot. There are a number of fun thermometers that are available, and consider using a non-slip bath mat when your child's able to stand.
And what about changing baby on the changing unit or in the bedroom?
Rule of thumb, never ever leave your child alone on the changing unit. They can easily slide or roll off. Keep the essential things close to hand, nappies close to hand, and have a bin by the unit so you don't have to walk away. When your baby starts to wriggle about too much, change them on the floor to prevent accidents. Make sure all ties on cot bumpers and toys are short to stop a child becoming tangled up in them. Never put anything underneath the cot mattress to raise the baby's head. The child may slide down to the side and its head could become trapped between the cot side and the mattress. Make sure blanket edges are tucked in securely under the mattress, and don't use duvets for very young children.
Now, all our children love playing in the garden, but I imagine there are a few things for parents to look out for.
Absolutely, children will try to play with anything, especially things like garden canes, and if they're not careful they can cause eye injury. If you're using power tools in the garden, make sure children aren't anywhere near. They will try to see what's going on. Often if you're using a hover mower, you'll get pieces of debris like stone and sticks flying up, which could cause injury. Always take care if you're using pesticides and garden chemicals, and always store them out of the reach of children. So remember, while there is the temptation to wrap children in cotton wool to keep them safe, they really do have to be allowed to explore the world for themselves.
Thank you for that, Stuart. Hopefully we've given you a few areas around the house to identify as hazardous. And remember, for any further tips and advice, just visit www.bootsparentingclub.com.